Hello and good day. Today in Algebra we are covering PO5, another power objective. And this one is going to be on the order of operations. Okay. And the reason why we have the order of operations is that recall that math, in a sense, is like a language, right? It's a universal language. Everywhere you go, 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. Okay, it might be represented a little bit differently or said verbally a little bit differently, but 2 plus 2, those two values will combine to be 4. So if you have more complicated expressions, such as 3 plus 4 times 7, it would be a problem if we got two different values for that. 3 plus 4 times 7 cannot be both 49 and 31. It can only be one of those things. And that is why we have the order of operations first, so that people cannot say, I feel like adding 3 and 4 first, and I'll multiply that by 7 to get 49. And some people say, you know what? Today I feel like multiplying 4 and 7 first and adding 3 to that to get 31. Okay? You follow the order of operations, which, of course, having had this before, you know which one is the correct equation. Does 3 plus 4 times 7 equal 49, or does it equal 31, James? 31. It equals 31. Okay? Because according to the order of operations, the multiplication takes place before the addition. Okay? And the order of operations, as I would like you to learn it, starts with P for parentheses. Then comes the E. That's the poorly written E. E for exponents. And then comes the R for radicals or roots. And we've already discussed why the R belongs there, why it is not PEMDAS, but why it is PERMDAS. What the order of operations does, in addition to telling you what order you should do the operations, that's why it's called that, but it also identifies operations that are opposite, operations that undo each other. The opposite of squaring something is taking the root, right? If I start with 5 and I square it, what do I get? 25. To get back to 5, to undo the squaring, I would take the root of 25, and I'll be back at 5. Okay? They're opposite operations there. The opposite of cubing something is taking the cubed root. Right? If you haven't had those before, we'll get to those eventually. After the R, now comes the M for multiplication. The D for division. Again, we see that multiplication and division opposite operations there, right? If you multiply something by 3, to get back to your original value, you divide by 3. Okay? If you divide something by 5, to get back to the original value, you'd multiply by 5. And then we have A for addition and S for subtraction. PERMDAS. PERMDAS. Okay? And there are different kind of levels in PERMDAS. You've got the addition and subtraction are on kind of the same level. They're opposites. Multiplication and division on the same level, and then exponents and radicals on the same level. Parentheses isn't an operation. They aren't an operation. But why are they important? What do parentheses do? Joey?
They separate a number from the rest of the equation.
Okay. In the context of the order of operations, why are they there? Yeah.
It overpowers multiplication and division. So if you have like two numbers that you have to add for in parentheses.
Right. It overrides everything else. That if you did want 3 plus 4 times 7 to equal 31, you could make it equal, no, not 31, that's what's supposed to equal, sorry. Make it equal 49. You could make it 49 by putting parentheses around the 3 plus 4, because that says, no. Hold up. parentheses first, right? 3 plus 4 is 7. Then you'd multiply by 7, and that's how you would get it to be 49. All right. Should be review. Anything new that you've got questions about? Okay. What if we have an expression such as this? Because this is where people get caught up. People get so wrapped up in the order of operations that sometimes they take it too literally. If we have something like 10 minus 4 plus 8, okay? Some people might look at this and say, okay, 10 minus 4 plus 8, P-E-R-M-D-A. I've got to add first. So 4 plus 8 is 12. So we get 10 minus 12, which equals negative 2. Why is that wrong? I mean, the order of operations says addition before subtraction. So, yeah. Exactly. If they're part of that same level, that opposite group, then you work from left to right. So in this case, yes, addition is before subtraction in PERMDAS. However, because those are the only two operations that we have here, it would be correct to work from left to right. And we've got 10 minus 4 is 6 plus 8 equals 14. If you really wanted to add first, you could. But you wouldn't take 4 plus 8. What would you be doing if you really wanted to add first? You're that much of a, I'm going to do it. Miranda. You could add 10 plus 8 and then subtract the 4. That's an option, right? 10 plus 8 is 18 minus 4 is 14. Or, what else? Not around just the 4 and the 8. What sign does that 4 have? It's a negative 4, right? That subtraction sign is an operation symbol, but it also makes the 4 negative. And so if you wanted to add first, it would not be 4 plus 8. It would be negative 4 plus 8. And what is negative 4 plus 8? 4. And then 10 plus 4 gives us 14. Okay, so there are multiple ways to work an equation like that, but typically, just so you're not getting caught up with negative signs and things like that, we would recommend going from left to right. You're all in the social media stuff, the Instas and the Finstas and the Tinstas and all that sort of stuff. Do you ever come across those math things where it's like the internet just can't agree on what the answer is, and it's an order of operations thing? You know what I'm talking about? No? Well, next time that I find one, I will do the old screenshot and put it out for you so we can work on it together. But what's that? Oh, I use my laptop, my flip phone. To take a screenshot on the flip phone, you take a picture of something. That's the screenshot. The original screenshot. Okay, scrolling down the page a little bit for your assignment. You need to evaluate each equation, check your answer by identifying each step. This is my way for this objective of telling you to show your work. Okay? You could easily put this into a calculator exactly as it's written and get an answer. I'm not testing whether or not you can push buttons on a calculator in the correct order. Okay? By identifying each step, what I mean is, what are you doing first? In 7 plus 6 divided by the difference of 7 and 1, what are you doing first here based on the order of operations? Yes?
7 minus 1.
You're doing the parentheses first. So you're going to underline that and then rewrite your expression having taken 7 minus 1. Now what are you going to do? Joey? Divide 6 by 6. So you're going to underline that. Rewrite the expression again. 7 plus 1. And now you can put the value. I don't leave you that much space just so you can write your answer really big. Okay, because you used a calculator for it. All right, I leave you that much space so you can show, it's still a lot of space, you can show me what you're doing for each step. So those of you that have already started the assignment and started it when we were still correcting PO4, you may have to go back and make sure that you are showing your work on all of these questions here. Yeah?
If you're dividing, is that like a whole number? Is there a decimal you add?
If you're dividing and it doesn't work out evenly, I want you to leave it in fraction form. So for example, if this was 7 plus 1 and it was 7 plus 6 divided by 8, okay, you take 6 divided by 8 next. I would want you to write that as 7 plus 3/4, which is 6/8 in simplest form. So no decimals here. I would like them left as fractions. Okay. All right, so you got 4 to do here. On the second page, you've got more to do. Again, identify each step, underline what you're doing, rewrite the expression, work your way down. Then there is a section. Actually, you know what? I don't want you to do the second Mr. Happy Pencil section. Skip this one. I want to talk about it specifically on Monday. So you can, if you already did it, great. If you haven't, then don't worry about it. We'll talk about it Monday. But this bottom section here says place parentheses in the equation to make it equal to 45. So right now, as the expression's written, it doesn't equal 45. I want you to make it equal 45 by adding parentheses where necessary to change the order of operations and make it equal 45. So you're not like adding any numbers to it. You're only adding parentheses. You're not changing any of the operations given, only the order in which you will do them by adding parentheses. You may have to add more than one set. Just kind of got to play with it a little bit and see what happens. Okay? So your homework for Monday is to complete PO5 with the exception of the Mr. Happy Pencil section that I crossed out. That, folks, is how you math.